welcome
to the best.
Steve-O.
Steve-O. Do you have the book so we can like
The biggest jackass I've ever met, if you know what I mean. I'm just kidding.
What's our background? Can we change it?
Oh, yeah.
to Steve-O, maybe taking a shit?
Kermit, though.
Yeah, that was for our Patreon because it was hot tea we were spilling. It
We're
wasn't
spilling
really that
hot
hot.
tea about our buttholes, so check out our Patreon because it's awesome.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty fun.
And I mean, if you want to, drop us a little money, check your inbox after. Winkety wink. Let's see what happens.
Yes,
Actually,
we had this Patreon idea to like all of us will take pictures of our buttholes. So the first 5 people who pay $100 will may get one of each of our buttholes.
Yeah.
And then they have to guess who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Because if they get it right, then they get another extra special thing. We don't know what yet, but
It'll be another butthole of the
probably
same picture.
another butthole.
Actually,
Same person.
The same exact picture.
Do an old photo of him, like,
When
He
was
has a
really
very
young.
defined chin,
yeah.
But it also kind of
like jaw.
if he like works in a certain way, it kind of just
Do, like, young Steve-O.
a young Steve.
Yeah.
Young Steve-O.
Young Justin Timberlake.
I like how that came up first. I mean, Justin Timberlake is aging very well, so I don't feel like you really need it.
JT.
Look at that
does it.
guy.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
yes. I don't feel like Justin Timberlake looks like he's aged like at all, to be honest. Like
that one? Where
That's
he's
a
like,
good one, yeah.
This one?
yeah.
that was a good one. I feel like that's very
Yeah,
Steve-O.
that's very Steve-O.
No, it's
Will
just
it have the
trying.
watermark on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lame.
Do the one where he's a clown.
Him in clown college.
Oh, freaking Getty Images. Get out of here.
Get out of here with your watermark.
Get
Disgusting.
that freaking watermark.
A freaking watermark.
Does he have a kid?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, at first I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my
All
gosh.
these are Getty
Can
Images.
you do that one?
Can we do
That's a
that
good
one?
one.
That's a really good
Can we
one.
do
That's
that
even
one?
better. I
Yeah,
think that's great.
that's
Yeah.
good.
That's awesome.
10 out of 10 would look at again.
We'll look at it again. Good thing, because we're going to be looking at it
All day long.
all day.
All night long. All night.
That was great. That was actually really amazing.
Yeah, me and Allie are in a secret acapella group. You wouldn't know about it.
You wouldn't fully understand.
You wouldn't understand, Mom.
It's my life, Mom. It's not a face.
It's not a phase. I'm acapella for life.
Acapella for life, please. It's what's the movie?
Pitch Perfect?
Yeah.
Sorry.
One thing, honestly, our dads are so similar. Their favorite movies are Greatest Showman and Pitch Perfect.
My dad says it is it Greatest Showman, but he would watch it on the regular if I
Yeah.
asked him to.
Yeah.
He wouldn't go out of his way to do it himself, but he would do it himself if he had it. He doesn't own it. See, that's the thing. I know if he... No, because he's like... I think he's trying to be like, no, I don't like musicals, but I know he loved that musical because he'll sometimes hum the songs. He knows the songs. I know he has to
We
listen to
know.
them on the
We
side
know.
to remember them because God, Great Showman.
I remember I went to go see it with Allie for the first time.
Yeah.
And we
Aw.
got Panda Express, did we? Yeah, we got Panda
Yeah,
Express,
yeah.
and we walked in, and we were a little late, and so it was during the whole
Hello,
thing.
Joy.
Hello, Nick.
Hello.
Did you break the camera?
Yeah, Wes's beauty really makes it so hard to
Yeah.
film.
It's just kind of like, oh my god.
You should know this
Yes.
by now, Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick. God.
Come on.
No, I actually don't know what is wrong with the camera. Just really bright for some reason.
It's really bright.
Can we change, like, the contrast?
I was trying to earlier, and the problem is when you shift the contrast, it screws up the green screen.
I just
Yeah.
kind of look like a ghost back
You
here.
do.
It's okay. I bleached my hair so like it's really blonde, so now I kind of like merge all together. But
Well,
at least my eyebrows.
I guess I can ask you guys this because Forrest and I are going to redesign the room
Ooh.
probably a little bit after New Year's
Uh-huh.
because we're going to get that whole desk, the shelf, out of here.
Oh yeah, you were saying something like that.
And then, what do you guys think would be ideal for a setup? Because we were thinking round table,
I was just
Oh,
about to say that.
so we can all circle around it, and then either have
Yeah.
multiple cameras. So, like, for example, let's say the round table's here.
Mhm.
Have one camera facing this way. Have one camera facing this way. We can split the
yeah.
screen.
yeah.
Green screen doesn't need to be involved,
That'd
and then
be
we can
cool.
either. I mean, Forrest and I are going to invest in more mics.
Mhm.
So we can either each all just have a mic and then put it on low sensitivity, and then you can just be close to it and it will sound more clear. Or we can, the mic
Yeah.
thing's different,
Yeah.
but
That's
Are
a,
these
yeah.
on the right
Honestly,
setting?
yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
I think having my own mic would make me feel like I'm on a radio show, and I would love every second of it.
Perfect.
No,
That's
literally.
all I care about now.
I also want to try the
He
little.
says it's blurry.
Do we look clear?
Does it need a good little like cleaning? Like a spit shine?
I don't know what that cloth is,
You
but
know,
I
just a
mean,
little-
we got cloth there. I have a shirt.
I have a shirt.
I also
cleans-
Go
have
try
a
that.
shirt.
I also have a
Gosh.
shirt.
I don't.
Allie. You
Naked
whore.
you. Meet me after the
you naughty
podcast.
girl. We
Don't tell
out
Marshall.
here- We're not on Patreon anymore.
You don't
Jeez.
tell Marshall, I don't tell him, and it's fine.
Perfect.
Were you guys? Because I remember getting a Snapchat from you last night. Yeah, no, exactly. I was kind of like, and it was you and Marshall, and then I Snapchatted back. I don't even know what, and then it was just Marshall's face, just like in the screen. And I was like, looks like she's having fun.
She has no
Don't
idea.
remember a second of that.
Understandable.
It'd be like that sometimes.
They gave me that giant ass bag for just a little.
Well, I don't
Just
think
a
they have
little
anything
thing.
smaller because I think this is
Yeah.
the only bags they have for Black Bear Diner.
Those are
Yeah.
my clothes, right?
Yes.
but I told
Okay.
because
I washed them.
we didn't know if you were gonna come back to our house, so we were like, just in case you have your clothes,
Thank you.
because it was so sweet. You brought my pants back, but you left all of your clothes.
All of my clothes.
You, where is
See-
my shirt? It's a Fashion Nova shirt, and I really cherish it.
I was going to bring it, and then I forgot it, and I was like, oh well.
It makes you
I
feel better.
really
She
love
also
Holly
forgot.
more.
Literally, we just have a whole track record of Allie just like will take my clothes, and then I'll see her wearing it like the next time we hang out, and I'm like, Allie, those are my clothes, and she's like, what?
Did I?
That's exactly
do
how it goes. She's just like,
Every time.
what? Me? What?
Little me.
And you're like, don't worry, I'll give it back to you at some point. It never
That's a
happened.
lie. It's a bold face
No.
lie.
Bold
Exactly.
face lie.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
10 out of 10 would do again.
10 out of 10
out of 10.
will do again.
It's a
Bold
little
lie.
more in focus now, or
How does it feel like? Nick, let us know.
let us know.
I'm trying to pull up
outside
the video
source.
on Facebook,
Oh
but
yeah. See if you can get that
I should wear lipstick so my lips don't look like together.
together.
I have some if you want some.
No, because I will mess it up.
You gonna
I have a
mess
mirror
it up?
too.
Oh shit.
Just put it on, just like
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I think I had
what do you have?
nothing. I lied. No, I
Nothing.
do. I have key lime pie lip balm.
You know
Oh,
what?
it
I'll
is. It
try.
looks kinda like
It's from Lush.
Honestly, my beanie looks lit as shit though in this
Let me see.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
because it's like outlined. Everybody's outlined.
Outline.
Outline?
Look away. You see that?
I don't know.
Is that lip balm?
Yeah, it's key lime.
Can I have some?
No.
Yeah, you
Meet me after the podcast in the parking lot if you know what's good.
I'll bring some snacks. We're ready to fight.
I'll bring the lube.
Yo,
I'll bring the jello so we can fight jello. I've always wanted to like low key do like, you know, like the girls who get in bikinis.
do the
And
jello.
And then do
Like
like
in
the
the
jello.
Jell-O?
Like I
Yes.
feel like it's so cliche, but I want to do it just because I
We
want to
could
be.
do that for a
Jell-O
Patreon
wrestling?
episode. People would jizz over
Yes.
Honestly, so
I would have
down.
a great time doing
that.
that.
That would be
Honestly,
We
I
would
just
have
wanna
to
say-
make so much jello.
Don't fucking. I don't care.
Bella's a pro. Bella's
I'm
a pro
great
at
at
jello.
making jello.
We can also make him jello shots so we can like.
We could make it all a jello
Alcohol
shot.
jello?
Someone's
One
just lying
big
on the
Jell-O
ground, like
shot?
slurping up the floor jello.
This floor jello is delicious. My lady, thank you.
Green jello's not good for jello shots though, I feel.
No, I feel like it breaks up more because
I think that
I think we did
red
that.
jello is best for jello shots.
yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, raspberry jello is super good.
Yeah.
And
Black
jello
cherry
shots.
was really good last
Mm.
time. I
Yeah.
thought that was gonna taste like a little bit
Like
medicinal. But
yeah, but it was
didn't.
really good.
The last time I went to Vegas, we stopped
What's
by one of
good?
the shops.
Hey,
yo!
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do the round
Not
table.
blurry, just us. If you turn the green screen off for a minute, does it fix your focus? Oh, maybe.
No, I
No.
tried. I mean, the only thing that I could, because then it just looks like a green, like it's just a bright green
Oh.
background, so it kind of looks.
We really want Steve O and his crotch, right?
We only
Here.
see a
Can I,
little
like,
bit of it.
Get. Oh, he gone.
Because
Steve-O.
now then it looks like I
It
have
helps
a,
with Cass's. Not really. It's the beanie that kind of just makes your face look really long.
See, look, it's like outlined. It actually looks pretty dope.
It's a cool hat. Where'd you get it?
I actually have no idea. So I found it in my basket of. I just kind of throw all my hats and like accessories in there. This was in there, but like this is not my hat. I don't think this is Nate's hat. Whose hat is this?
If it is your hat, claim it.
It's my
She
hat
probably
now.
won't give it back.
Yeah, well, because I did claim those up. But be careful what you claim, because I claimed a pair of Vans, and then I lost my Nikes. So, like, you know, what comes around goes around, so you might lose another beanie / your
Allie's aware of that.
butt.
You're like, I see you. I'm
Getting in on this now.
sliding on in to be
I
able to
can
take
blame it all on karma.
Yeah, look,
Perfect.
going across with your tattoo.
I don't want to talk about it.
We don't have to talk about
We
it.
don't have to talk about your
Anyways.
tattoo, do we? Karma.
Speaking of dumb decisions, so Steve-O.
Did you read all of it?
Nope,
That's
How
fine.
much of it did you read?
none.
Okay.
I forgot.
did you watch any
until
of
2
his-
days ago?
Did you watch any of his like YouTube videos or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm coming in this all new. I'm the worst.
I looked up like interviews and like different stuff like that, but I actually did not read the full thing.
Well, okay, so a good amount of like what I read, because I read about a third of the book, a good amount of what is in his book that I've read so far. I mean, other than like, you know, small details and stuff that are maybe important, but a lot of it is on his YouTube channel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Talks about pretty much everything that's in the book on
Yeah.
his YouTube channel.
There we go. Love this man.
Yeah.
I'll just keep fiddling with this while you guys chat. So.
Okay.
It literally
So-
looked like you rubbed his belly.
No,
that was
literally, I was
perfect.
like,
Oh, I thought
Hi,
you were going for
Steve-O.
the nipple, but
oh, I can also do that. Oh,
You liked it too much.
tickle, tickle, tickle. I'm so sorry.
Is Picture gonna ban us again for this
For the
background?
nipple. Oh yeah, for oh, I actually went right on his other nipple when you changed it. Wait, I'm like Holly. Holly's the ultimate nipple finder. She
I will-
will know how to find anybody's nipples.
Oh, easily. It's a gift.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool, honestly.
Not a curse. It's a gift. God made me this way, and I, every time I find a new one.
Oh,
Okay. Well, so I'll start our conversation off if you guys want. So I read about a third. I mean,
It looks like you're about halfway
Raise-
through.
yeah. Raise your hand if you read it all the way.
Shit.
I know. Well, I know what happens. Like I've read enough
Yeah.
of this that like I kind of have an idea of like what happens next.
Yeah.
The thing about it. So did you like it? I mean,
Ye-
I guess it doesn't really matter if you liked it or not because it is
yeah.
his life story.
yeah.
It's
The-
his life.
The only big complaint that I have is I felt like I was getting pitched a lot to buy or watch his other content.
Really?
Because it
Okay.
was like he would tell this story, right? And I'm sure you've heard in the first half of the book where he'd be like, "Oh yeah, we did these stunts." And he's like, "Oh, but you could also go find it on YouTube." Or like later in the book, he'll be like, "Oh, well, my rap album came out," and then you know he would say like he would give you like the track list, and it'd kind of be you're like, "Oh, I want to listen to this," but now I have to go purchase it. It just didn't feel
You
like
can't stream it? That's weird.
that's the only thing that bothered me, and it's really small detail.
So I actually kind of, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say that I liked that detail, but I mean, you know, sometimes when you read something and it like doesn't, like, here's the thing, he talks a lot about like stunts he does and stuff in the book,
Hmm.
and like things he's done. I think sometimes when you read that and things and you're just like imagining how it would go in your mind, you can watch all of those online,
Right.
and I didn't have to pay for anything, and some of them it's like you can search it if you want, like if you search hard enough you'll find it. I didn't have to search at all.
Right.
I mean, I literally looked up what I was looking for, and it was the first thing that came up. So, I mean, I liked that he would tell a story about a stunt he did, and, like, in my brain, I'm, like, imagining how this would go, and then I went and watched it.
I think some of the craziest stuff about it for me was the fact that I guess when I was a huge Jackass fan.
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
Jackass. I loved Wild Boys. I loved Viva La Bam. Like I
Yeah.
grew up watching that, and like I know everything about all of them.
Yeah.
But since I wasn't old enough, I never took interest on what was going on outside of their life. So like the only Steve-O that I knew was like, oh, the guy who put shit up his ass and then like did weird stunts.
Yeah,
That's all I
but-
knew of Steve-O.
yeah.
So I thought, and obviously the drugs and the whole
Yeah.
that whole aspect. Listening to how he grew up is not what I thought. He grew up
No.
very wealthy,
Yeah.
absent father, which is sad, and that might play a part of why he wants so much attention.
Mm-hmm.
But he grew up traveling like to these very posh places. He lived in England. He lived in, I can't remember a couple
Brazil,
Canada,
Connecticut, Florida.
a couple other like he's a world traveler. He was a world traveler going into his teens.
Yeah.
And he didn't live like I was expecting him to live like drug family. His mom was an alcoholic. Kind of makes
so
sense.
he definitely has like that sort of trait.
Yes.
and
Well,
stuff.
Because it is like could be hereditary.
Yes.
So here's the thing with that though. So the whole reason I wanted to read this book was because I thought it was going to be fucking hilarious.
Me too.
Like I thought this book was going to be him talking literally about all just like the crazy ass shit he does. It's not like that.
No.
My biggest complaint about this book is that I think he's really hard on himself about his life and like things he's done. And I don't think like yes, he was a raging alcoholic but while he was in high school, and he was doing drugs all the time, and like his whole life up until recently, the last 15 years has been all about him getting drunk or high all the time, and that was the whole thing. And I mean, so here's we're gonna get a little personal.
Ooh.
So
Personal time.
I come from my family, like addiction is like really really prevalent in both
Mhm.
sides of my family. Both my mom's family and my dad's family have addiction on like very close to like people that are in my immediate family, and even my parents. Honestly, I mean, like my mom's not an alcoholic, my dad was an alcoholic, but like it's so hard to be like he knows his mom was an alcoholic. He knew that alcohol was dangerous, and he knew that drugs were going to not be good for him because of his alcohol problems, and he knew that addiction was like literally everyone in his mom's family died from alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard because like it's bad, but like
You still do it.
do I know that alcohol is bad for me, and that there is there's a very high possibility of me becoming an alcoholic if I can take it too far? Yes. But it's so like I don't know. I think that he's really hard on himself in the book because he's like, I knew this was bad and I still did it. And it's like we all do things that are bad and we know that it's bad. But he talks a lot about like how literally all he was ever doing was doing this because he knew that he could get drunk later. Like even when he went to clown college, he was getting drunk every night while he was in clown college.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to start this debate about, addiction being, or what's it called, a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to go into that. Like, that's a whole different thing. But whether you believe that or not, addiction is what it is, and it's never going to be easy to get rid of in any sense.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting this book to be a lot about his addiction and his like really intense like life, I guess. I just thought he was going to talk about the funny shit, and he doesn't.
I do think that, at least through where you're at in the book, he's really hard on himself, because when you get later in the book, the stuff that he talks about is really extra shitty.
Yeah.
And it involves not just him being awful to his body and himself, it turns into him trying, not intentionally, but almost ruining other people's careers. Like, for example, he had this list, his email list, he called it the rad list or something like that.
Yeah.
And what he would do is he would just sit coked out of his mind on these like 3-day bingers and just type all these stories and shit and send them out on this rad list to everyone who he has on it, which are famous people, paparazzi and everything.
Yeah.
And like he put out stuff like fake stories about Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Kat Von D, like all these type of people. And he legit tells himself like he says it in that in the book where he's like, I hate myself for that type of stuff. And I agree with you at the early stages, like when he's a kid, college, he's doing drugs and he's smoking weed and drinking all the time. Like, okay, probably shouldn't be hard on yourself then because you're trying to learn. When the older Steve-O, he's hard on himself because I don't think he necessarily regrets the early stage stuff. I think he 100% reflects, and it kills him on the inside of the stuff that he did when he was older.
Yeah.
So he just tries to clump it all together as like a big thing that he's sad about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, cause like it's different when you do like really shitty things when you're younger and you don't know better. But like, I think a lot of the stuff, like especially while he was doing drugs and all that, that definitely I think inhibited him, like from realizing wrong from right in a way. You know, that he was
Yeah.
just kind of like, this is fucking funny, let's do it.
It was interesting to hear him
You know?
talk about his cocaine usage too, because
Yeah.
I've never listened to someone write their cocaine addiction so casually. It was like as easy. It was like comparing like us drinking water. It was just like he's just doing cocaine. That's Steve-O. Like it wasn't this like, oh man, we went out tonight and fucking. It was literally just like, oh yeah, I was 3-day binge on cocaine again. It was just like the most casual, common thing for him.
Well, I think that's just like such a like prevalent thing in addiction. So like specifically like someone in my family is a recovering alcoholic at this point, but we used to go over there and it wasn't uncommon for there to be like 10 beers in the shower from the shower he took this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if you start your day at 6 a.m. with 10 beers in the shower, like alcohol's not a thing anymore.
No.
Like that's
No.
just how it is.
I think it's just water at that point.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
and
like
I think it's the same thing with
as
cocaine.
water.
There's another person I'm very that is. No, we're not close. She doesn't like me. she's someone in my family who is like not far away, like relatively.
Yeah.
And like her smoking meth is like she's smoking meth again, guys, and we're just so used to that being a thing is that we're just like, oh, she's doing it again, and we're just like, all right, it is what it is. Like we can't be upset about it anymore because it's just like
It's so much.
it's what it is. Like it just becomes the norm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me too, like the scary thing about addiction is the fact that, and I didn't understand this until recently, that it's not, you don't get over it. You never do.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely
You just
not.
you try and cope the best you can because, for example, this is a tough subject for me too now, but like if you dabble in some specific drugs when you're younger and you battled with addiction during that time, even if you're clean for 20 years, it can still pop back up.
That's something.
And that I never fathomed that until I had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's another person in my family who also was in a similar circumstance, and they told me recently that, I mean, it's been over 20 years now that they've done drugs, but they told me recently that every day they wake up and they still crave coke and crack and whatever, and I can't imagine like being a successful person and still waking up every day and being like, I wish I could smoke crack today.
Yeah.
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 That would like, I have zero self-control, which is why I know that I am so susceptible to addictions at this point that it's just like, whoa.
Well, it's just like anything though. Like you can get addicted to so many things so easily, and it's
Yeah.
just so hard to kick. Like it could just be like a simple habit, and like you can't not do it. It's just like insane. Like you don't even have to, I feel like, have like that addictive personality or that addictive trait to
Right.
then like get into it.
I think too a lot of it is comfortability, right? Because like, if you want to take Steve-O's Coke thing, right? Like, I wonder if in his brain at the time, right? Like, the first couple times he tries it, he's like, "Fuck, this is a great time." But then as you progress down that rabbit hole, I think it almost turns into a comfort thing where you're
It's
like,
a routine.
yeah, it's your routine, and you're just not comfortable unless you're on it. Like, I think that goes. I mean, I personally find the porn addiction thing to be funny, but it's relevant in Utah, right?
Yeah.
It's extremely relevant, but like I think with a lot of people too, that when something's super taboo to them and they're told that it's super taboo, when you start dabbling in it,
It's like,
that thrill of like, oh, this is the worst thing that I could be doing.
yeah.
That in itself is addictive.
Yeah, and it, like, it's just kind of the thrill of it, and especially in, like, just, you know, Utah and, like, Mormon culture, like, the whole porn thing, because, I mean, like, the definition of addiction is like, inhibiting something that you're doing, like, you're doing it enough that it inhibits something in your life, in your daily life, whether it's, like, you know, drugs, where, like, you're not able to do something. Hello, book club.
Hello.
What's up?
What up, Electric?
But, you know, it's kind of the same with, like, porn with, like, sex and whatnot.
Right.
You know, that's how they view it, because they think that, like, that's something that should be, like, you know, holy in a way.
Only for making babies.
Holy because you want to have the
You know,
children.
I had a conversation with someone who was a good friend of mine, and he had been putting stuff out, like the porn kills love stuff and different things like that. Now, I have a very strong opposing opinion on that, but at the same time, I can kind of see where it comes from, where if you really can't words are hard for me. If you really can't tell the difference between what you're trying to do with your loved one and what you're watching, that's a problem.
I literally, okay, listen.
It's
Devo's
Professional Idiot, a memoir.
Yeah.
Talks a lot about his addiction, not very much funny stuff. Anyways, go ahead.
So the thing about, like, the porn kills love and whatever, I think that it is relevant to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Specifically, I have a friend who is not getting married to this person. But whatever, it's fine, it's whatever.
She's sipping.
But she literally told me that there was a day when, you know, she was trying to get some with her boyfriend at the time, and he was like, well, I don't really want to do that, but, like, will you...
Yeah, he is.
Will you give me a blowjob, and, like, maybe we can do it after? And she was like, okay, sure. So she does that, and what he did was he covered her head with the blanket and watched porn on his phone. While she was doing that, and with headphones on, so she didn't know. And she, like, stopped because, like, she'd been going for a while, and she, like, comes up and saw him doing that, and she was like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck? What are you... Okay. And then now they're getting married.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That reminds me a lot of... Have you guys ever seen the movie or read the book, Women, Children, or what is it? Men, Women, and Children?
I've heard about that.
If you ever ask me about a book I have read, I probably have not read it.
Okay, well, there's the biggest...
That's why we have this book club.
There's the biggest
I don't
thing...
read these books either.
The biggest thing is there's also a movie of it. So I watched the movie first, and then I read the book. Which the book was a lot darker, but it dealt with a kid who had a porn addiction, and he really couldn't have sex with a girl because he was so ingrained on, like, having to have like BDSM, or like having, like, because he, like, watched it so much that he was just, like, he got bored, so he'd only watch, like, the rough stuff, and he couldn't, like, honestly, like, it was really like you said, like, you're like, is it addiction? Because it was kind of funny, but it's meta stuff. Because he was like, it was like a scene where he was trying to, like, lose his virginity to this girl, but he, like, literally couldn't get hard because he, like, it was just basic sex.
Yeah, that's, like, a big sort of thing that, like, it's like a big debate going on, that sometimes people say that, like, the rabbit hole of porn, you'll just keep wanting to watch worse and more stuff because it gives you that whole thrill that you were talking about. That's kind of like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this, but, like,
I saw a comedian. I can't remember her name, but she was talking and she casually made a joke like, my porn search is now, like, family incest, whip, bloody.
Yeah.
Because that's just what it's gotten to.
Yeah, because you just, like, you watch so much of it that you get bored of it, so you try something harder, or, like, something more messed up, or, like, whatever.
Joe
Mama.
Yeah, Joe Mama.
Joe Mama? Don't even ask me who Joe is.
I like to point out
you mean our roommate?
The Venom Blade said a girl with the hair dye looks like the hot one from Ed, Edd n Eddy, and that made me giggle on the inside.
Thank you!
Yeah.
No, genuinely though?
Yeah.
Not what I was going for, but, like, I'm so happy with it.
And then, is that Gillette? I can't read it from here. He says, review Mein Kampf.
My comp.
That'd be fucked up.
My struggle.
My
My struggle?
No, I do think this is a weird one, because I do believe that porn can be addicting, and I think that it can have negative effects on you. I also think that it's kind of weird.
Muddy.
Yeah, we're having camera problems, man. We don't
Yeah.
know what the
apologize.
problem
I'm
is.
sorry. We're
We're
trying to
gonna
figure
keep
it
working
out.
on it.
It worked great yesterday, so we don't know why it's...
What the heck? It's just
Um,
Cass. You just look like one big
Ebert
head.
was saying if somebody goes up to the camera and kind of like forces it to focus,
Yeah, you
maybe
might...
that might work.
Or we can even move it
Holly,
up
go put your face
closer.
in the camera.
Go put your face.
I was waiting for this
Lick the
moment.
camera, see what happens.
What if you like if I was like this? Wait,
Flare your
where's
nostrils.
No,
No, that's not a flare.
I can't flare them. Hold on, I'm trying to.
You can't flare your nostrils?
Let me see.
Is it like do a crab walk?
Is it like? What if I like put my shirt?
I just don't. I just don't know where the focus is. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that.
Will
made
you
it
pull the
literally
camera
worse.
like it like physically put it like to the front of the desk?
Oh, yeah, maybe that might work. Oh.
Oh, I don't like this angle of me.
Did that work a little?
No, Holly, if you put it too far away, we won't be able to see you.
I know. I can't see Allie either.
Push the. Oh, I was gonna say
Okay. Wait.
you just gotta get a little scoochy scooch.
Ask the camera if you have games on your phone, because you look like a little kid that's like, do you have games on your
Y'all got
phone?
games?
Y'all got games?
Y'all got games?
There was a period of time that literally, that's all Holly and I would say to each other.
Yeah.
For certain things, we just go up to each other and be like, you got games?
You got games on your phone?
Y'all got games, though?
Yeah, me and my girlfriend do that. That's pretty funny.
This hoe on. Probably meth, but we're not talking about that
Sorry.
right now.
Bald. Who is bald?
I
Is
feel
it me
like
in my hat that's bald? Is it you?
it could
and
be
your
me
blonde
because
hair that's bald?
I did it really light and I didn't tan enough this summer to do this light of a color.
So
I kinda
You
blend-
don't like
about-
tanning.
I don't like tanning because with my natural hair it doesn't look good.
But now,
What's up, Iron Chef? How you
Is
been?
that technically like one Ron chef?
It's Iron Chef.
But like one Ron chef?
Oh.
You freaking idiot!
I'm sorry, but like, what if?
Oh my goodness.
To finish out on the porn thing, though, I do think that it's not good for
I don't think
younger
it's-
kids
yeah.
who exploring and figuring out what sexuality is great. But I
Yeah.
think that kids who dabble in porn without
God.
having any experience is kind of a bad thing, because then they go into it not
Just kinda dive
expecting
in head
like
first.
Yeah.
if they're
Yeah.
into like some crazy
Yeah.
shit that they watch and they're like trying to do whatever with this girl or guy and they're like what, like I think that's kind of fucked up.
Well, that's what like the whole movie was basically like saying is and stuff is because like he didn't know how, like and also there was like this girl who even did like a TED talk on it, and that's why they have like that porn website where you can like it's called like reallove.com or some shit
Oh,
like
yeah, I know
something
what
like
you're
that where
talking
it's like basically just all amateur porn you can buy, but it's like who wants to pay for porn nowadays
Yeah,
when you can just get it for free. But her thing is she was like, I'm 40 years old, I like having sex with young men, but I'm so sick of them asking to choke me out on like, or like them to like choke on like their their dingling so much that she was like I'm so sick of these young men being like such sick fucks already that I'm like I want it. That's why she made it, is so she can have like a
Yeah.
good outlet for young
really.
guys, I guess.
Yeah.
I've
this
read that.
person said, "What's your favorite category, though?" Porn category, I'm guessing.
Probably anything that's like a joke.
Oh, like, oh, step bro, I got caught in the washing machine.
Yeah, bro.
Not even that. I just like
I don't watch porn.
I watch porn.
I
that's
watch
for sure.
porn.
I...
I'm into hentai. But,
No,
like,
dead
that's
ass
good
though.
hentai.
Hentai can like
Hentai
snap.
There's some
can
good ass
do it.
stories if we're being
Good-ass
honest.
shit.
it can get
There's
it's
some
crazy.
good ass
I can
stories.
get it.
I feel like with hentai though, it has its own like porn category because it's so versatile. Because it's
You
like
can get anything on it.
you can get
It's
anything.
true.
It's
And
great.
can I just say it's so hard to find good hentai that's uncensored that
Hentai
doesn't
haven.
involve rape,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
mind
yeah.
control, or like any of the fucked up shit.
Yeah, because no one wants to really watch that.
No,
Because
it
you're
just
like,
makes
ah.
me feel bad.
Oh, I
You're
think
just
it's
kind of
coming
like,
back. Hold on.
"Aw."
Hentahaven.com. Not talking from experience.
There's no.
Iron Chef did bring up a good
No.
point that I
Iron
read as
Chef.
well, that ED is at the highest it's ever been for men under 30. and the doctors are kind of think it is a twisted thing with sex, and then also over usage of doing it yourself.
One thing
Yeah.
that like I feel bad for, like especially people growing up just in this age, is because it's so accessible
Yes.
that you don't have the opportunity to explore your sexuality just in like a general form. You have to usually the only way that you're like, oh, I can just look it up on the internet,
Yes.
and then you just come across a bunch of fucked up shit.
Yeah, well, because like I
Yeah.
feel like us specifically, like we're only 21, but I feel like from the lower than us,
You're-
well, you're a little bit older, but like you know what I mean, like this kind of age group where it's like 21 plus is like was more able to have that like explore outside of the internet, but anyone younger, I feel like they just only have the internet, so now it's just getting more fucked.
Question: what is the one, like, you know, everybody has like that one movie or TV show character that made them, that like kind of just like sparked their
Teen
sexuality? Honestly though, yeah, Teen Titans.
I'm a musical theater nerd. It was the guy from Brooklyn in the Newsies. He was like a slave hat and that paperboy hat.
And you're
Watched
like,
him in school, and I was like, oh shit.
Damn.
you're like, that's some good shit.
Who dat though?
I would say Danny Phantom, and then also what's her bucket in Danny Phantom?
Oh,
Ryan
the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck, what's her name? She's like black and green is her color scheme in Kim Possible.
Yeah.
She-Go?
Ooh,
She-Go is my
Get it?
She-Go.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Kim
Oh.
Possible for real.
I don't know what
Heyo.
mine was. Probably. Yeah, you're getting a lot of love
they're
this
like,
time.
"Please send me some feet pics."
Honestly, it was probably.
Really?
It was what?
I don't know. See, like, I never had crushes on guys when I was younger, but it was
Yeah.
Donna from That 70s Show.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
She, I really liked. That's what sparked my love for redheads. Any redhead, I just am I'm automatically attracted to. Meet me after the podcast. But anyways,
together, so this works.
but I feel like Donna from That 70s Show, or like Danny Phantom himself, but not regular Danny Phantom when he was a Phantom.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
Like,
like the
when you're
silver
a
hair
fan.
and the golden green eyes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I do. I really like brown eyes the best. That's why Donna's just like.
Brown eyes. I am a green eye fan.
I love green eyes. I don't have like too many preferences, but red hair and brown eyes is my favorite, like general. So that's why Donna and then Danny Phantom.
You're like, just mush them together. Perfect person.
Donna as a
Person.
phantom.
Donna,
Perfect.
she's a phantom.
Don't tempt me with a good time. What about you, Wes?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to know
What is
yours.
your
I don't know,
sexual awakening?
honestly, because like
It was hard. I never really had like cartoons. It was more like that 70s show.
No, mine is 100% Robin from.
she does look like Donna, but from Orange is the New Black.
Oh,
When she has
like
black
Britney.
hair.
That's
I
so
sent her a
good.
picture and I'm like,
Donna
like
is
I was
fucking
watching
hot.
Orange is the New Black and I'm like, oh my god, you look like my girlfriend. This is crazy.
You look like my girlfriend. You know, we all
Maggie
out
Simpson.
here with the Donna
Maggie-
MILF. I'm about it.
Maggie
Maggie
was
Simpson.
like 8 years old. Oh, the saxophone. She can really blow.
Holly? I don't. Wes is back here like, I mean,
She's like 40 now if we're
Yeah.
talking like
I
really.
mean, true. If we're talking realistically,
Well, realistically, yeah, she's like 40 plus.
no, you have the whole
So I watched.
collection of Simpsons.
I did.
I did. You don't have it anymore.
No, I still do.
Okay,
It's just on
because
my
I
house.
was like, I thought we were planning on watching that.
I own every season of The Simpsons that are on DVD.
Disney Plus now.
Also,
It's on there.
my other one
Is it Fox?
is
They bought Fox.
is what's his name
What's his name?
from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Aang.
Aang.
Oh, Aang?
Zuko. Get it. Here.
Do you think he can make stuff hot just in general?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, he can make this
he can
body
make-
hot.
Yeah.
He can make this pussy hot, if you know what I mean.
It's already hot for him, but like, oh my
No,
goodness.
honestly.
Sorry, my
That
cheeks are
scar
a little
just like really
red.
got you going. You're
It
like,
really
bad
did.
boy vibe. Okay.
Bun.
It honestly
Oh,
really.
the
I think it like kind of
His
like.
body's not as.
Yeah.
Oh no, like it doesn't
Tap
do
the
nothing
screen
for
and
me.
hold for a couple seconds. That'll focus the lock. I don't know what that.
Tap what screen?
What screen?
Like the screen of the
That's
camera?
screen.
Just-
Do you want me to go clean
Give it a
it?
tap.
I
Give
mean,
it a tap.
yeah, I guess we could try.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
give it up.
Time to
And
stand anyways.
Hold on. Actually, don't do it. Hold on.
She has a glass cleaner.
Oh shit! There you go.
Okay.
She's ready. She's prepared. She's our
Well, I
prepared mommy.
clean my glasses
Okay,
a lot.
I clean them just with my shirt.
This is a weird one.
I'm ready.
So have you guys seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Oh,
Yes,
my God.
yes.
Are you talking about-
So no, I'm not.
You know,
I'm
told me about
talking
this. I know what you're talking about. The bully,
So-
Are
right?
you talking
There's
about
the bully, the
George
main
Lopez?
bully. Oh, you know it.
Sorry, anyways.
Bully. But he is like two bully friends, right? And there's this one bully friend that's so attractive.
As a when you're a kid.
Yeah, then you're just kind of like,
Oh, he's still attractive now as an adult.
Oh.
I've IMDb stalked him multiple times. He has like one line in this movie, but
a little
it's
better,
just-
maybe.
Ooh.
Cat still looks like freaking.
I look like a ghost.
It's just trying to okay, let's try something.
Deactivate.
Doctor
But
bite.
genuinely, the funny thing is I'm pretty sure we've had this whole ass conversation before because I
Recently.
remember that. I remember talking about that
I
about
talk
the
about
bully
him a
friend.
lot.
I feel like this has been like
Give it a
a
hold.
thing over like the internet though, like the bully friend.
Has it?
I don't remember, but
Has it?
honestly,
There
I
are
don't
more
fucking
people.
know.
Oh my god, I gotta find this.
You could probably find like
No.
some website or
no,
something.
I swear to God,
Probably.
there's been like a recent like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and it wasn't Shark Boy or like the boy that was like the main boy in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but I felt like there
You
was
got
someone
it.
talking about the bully. I
Strong.
feel like I've heard this before, but it could have been from you. But I swear I saw it on the internet somewhere, so I don't know.
We'll find a picture of him after the show.
At
I
some
gotta
point.
show you guys.
No, I swear I've seen it. We'll do it anyways.
Is he the blonde one or is he?
Yeah, he's
Okay,
the
that's what I
blonde one.
thought. That's what
What
I
in the
thought.
heck?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Where's that
Maybe
camera?
that's
What is that?
Maybe that's the problem.
No, that's the camera over there.
What is happening?
Oh, it's
Well, we're not using that camera.
I'm so confused.
I was just trying to make a new source to see if I could.
that if it's less blurry. Actually, it looks a little less blurry. Maybe because I'm standing right in front of it.
Yeah. Well, also we can
Maybe.
move the
That
camera.
didn't help at all.
No, hey, so point. Wait.
Point that at us.
Yeah.
Use that one. Y'all got games.
Y'all got games.
No, it's wrong way.
Is that better?
I think that's better.
I think that looks better.
Cass, you can see Cass.
What is this?
You guys like multiple of you? Hold on, we'll
It's
make.
a party.
Let me see if I could.
Why am
I
I in the
mean-
green screen?
Hold
I
on.
love when all my personalities come out at the same time.
That's like one of those TikToks where it has like a bunch of them and they're all like marching towards something, you know? You know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about. That's
You
a good
know
one.
what I
Hey, little me.
mean. Hey, hi.
Howdy.
How are you doing? You cutie.
Can I like technically like no, I can't reach myself.
So because of the green screen, maybe?
Oh no, I know what it was. I thought it was funny.
Look at him go. He's so big now. I can't even touch his nipple. Oh.
Now you are the nipple. Oh, I like how
I
we
am
can
the
see more
nipple.
of the leopard print
Yes.
thong.
I love that.
That's all I'm here
I'll
for.
rest my head on your
That looks better, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that good? Is that less blurry? I think that's less blurry for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Y'all agree?
Does it look better?
Y'all agree? Does it
agree.
look better? Look better? Look at this.
Okay.
Much better.
Much better.
Cool. Okay,
Yay,
so let's
thank
get back to Steve-O.
Yeah.
Go
So-
time.
Okay, so part of the reason that I only got like, I don't know, like a third to halfway through this is.
It came out a lot faster.
on yourself.
I just really like. I struggled to read this. Like the story is good, and like what he talks, like his writing is good.
Yeah.
It's just like, for me personally, like he reminds me a lot of my dad, and like that's so weird. But like, literally, so like, I mean, he's a little bit older than my dad, but not by like a whole lot. My parents are very young.
Nobody young.
But like,
Very young.
you know, my dad possibly could have been in a similar situation as him. Like, I mean, not like the homeless stuff and everything, but like, my dad was like, going to be sponsored by Mongoose as a BMX racer.
Oh, that's
And
very
then
lit.
he
pretty
ended
cool.
up not doing it because his friends told him that BMX racing was lame.
Wow.
And-
Lame.
But he started like racing motorcycles and still doing like BMX racing too, like all through high
Mhm.
school. And then they found out that they were pregnant with me. I'm a teen pregnancy. And what they warn you about.
I
This
am.
is the product of what they have warned you about. Be careful, kids.
Well,
Wear
shit.
condoms.
If I knew that, I would have done it because you turned out great.
You will be
Aw.
proud.
Wholesome
This is
moment of the
awesome,
evening.
guys.
Even
Just
like,
kidding. I
my-
would have eat you.
My grandparents like always tell me, they're like,
Abort it.
you were the best thing that happened to your parents. I guess, I mean, like, I don't know what they're, I mean, I guess they were smoking a lot of weed at the time, possibly, and my
What'd you
grandparents.
do?
It was the 90s, like, my grandparents are very conservative, and we're like,
Yeah.
Weed.
you know, it was like, they were like ashamed that my mom was pregnant at all, but
Yeah.
they got me. Devo has like there's like a writing in his book of like his memoir, and
Should we pull it up?
so the writing in his book is almost like the same as my dad's. So like my tattoo is my dad's handwriting, and this is Steve-O's handwriting.
I don't know if you can see that. But...
Yeah, I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
it, but
it's-
They definitely can't. No,
you can't. But
I
it's the
am a
same.
good
We
kid.
promise.
It's like exactly the same, and I don't know, like
I also
that was
small
really hard
clean.
for me. My dad was in a motorcycle accident 15 years ago almost, and 14
All right,
years ago.
Ollie, you got it.
This month, like the beginning of this month was actually like the anniversary of that. So that was a little rough. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that to be something that I was gonna feel a little shitty about, but he's not dead, but
No.
he's
Yeah.
mentally and physically disabled, and then we hear about Steve-O's mom having a brain aneurysm and talking about that too, and I was just like, I am triggered.
That whole, I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
even, not, it was hard to
No.
even listen to
Yeah,
in
I mean,
general.
I think that, like, I don't talk about it a lot just because it makes other people uncomfortable when you tell them about, like, your childhood woes.
Yeah.
And anything
Mhm.
that's, like, if it was hard for you to go through, it's going to be hard for someone else to listen to, regardless of what it is. And so, like, a lot of people don't know about that, and it's just because I don't talk about it. First of all, because I don't want to talk about it, but because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable
Right.
Yeah.
bringing anything up. And especially, like, parent shit. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like when things like happen to your parents, it just like kind of fucks you up. And he like, so here's the thing, like I know he did some shitty things later on, but like kind of he like feels bad at some point about like how he wasn't around to like take care of his mom, and I just fucking stupid, okay? Like I know everyone feels like they need to take care of their family, and yes, you should be there for them, but also like if you had a child, would you want your child to put their entire life on hold to take care of you?
No.
He says that. He
Oh.
makes that decision later on where he's
Well, he
he's
says,
with
like-
his sister, and
Yeah.
he's like, my mom wouldn't want me to sit here
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
waste away when I have this, because it was like right during the boom of like him
Went on a
starting to
cruise
get
ship.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I personally respect that, because I look at myself and put myself in his shoes, and like
Mhm.
I know for a fact that both my parents would probably be like, they would be upset at me if I made the decision to stop my life.
Yeah.
So he,
yeah.
like that happened to me specifically. Like when I was in junior high and the first part of high school, I didn't leave the house because I was taking care of my dad. And so ultimately like he lives with my grandparents now, and my grandparents take care of him because my mom and my grandparents didn't feel like I needed to stop being a kid to take care of my dad.
Right.
And like I felt bad almost like when my grandparents took over, because I was like, I can do this, like I can take care of them. And I didn't understand at the time, like I was like 14, 15, whatever. I didn't understand at the time, like it was just starting to hit me that he was never going to get better, and that regardless of like how much time and effort I put into like taking care of him,
Mhm.
it was never going to change anything. And also like it's just, I know that if my dad was here, like that wouldn't have happened. Not because like, not necessarily that, but like my dad was definitely like the wild card of like, you know, he was always doing something. He wanted to be doing something all the time. He was always like doing crazy ass shit. My dad built us like bike ramps when I was like 6 years old, and we used to spend the weekends like going off these bike ramps, and he would like I don't know, like we were always doing something like artsy and outside, and my mom's a little bit more conservative and like very more like concerned about like getting things done,
Right.
you know, like making sure that
Yeah.
things are taken care of. And I'm a lot more like her in that instance, and so it was so hard for me to like let go of that. And I feel like in his book he like kind of is like conflicted, because he's like, well, she doesn't want me to do this, but also like I feel guilty for leaving them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you're ever in that situation, like, sucks, but also like stop feeling guilty for not being able to be there for someone who like wouldn't want you to be worried about that. And my mom tells me that all the time now too. She's like, I wish that you didn't have to do that. And I was like,
You're like, well,
well, it was fine. Like, I didn't think there was anything wrong.
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, so I struggled to read this.
Definitely understand why. I mean, it
My
makes
own
sense.
PTSD is coming out.
Or
But
like,
yeah.
I think especially something that like happens when like you're so young
Yeah.
and stuff like that, it kind of affects, and like even like with Steve-O and like his whole growing up and stuff, and he was just kind of like, oh, you know, absent father, mother drank a lot, then all of a sudden had to take care of, was kind of like had to go through the decision of like taking care of his mom or like not, and
Yeah.
that really would have affected him.
I think we talked about this on one of the other podcasts too, like when we were like that age when you really start turning into you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember
Yeah.
what the conversation was, but
By the time you're like 10 years old, you kind of
You
have an
start to
idea
have
of
your
like,
own
who you're kind of going
ideas.
to be.
and I think
Yeah.
in Steve-O's thing is, you know, I don't know if he did have some sort of mental problem when he was younger. Like he definitely seemed like what they would call ADHD, and they even mention that now in the
Yeah.
book. But his desire for attention is not normal.
No, it's
Mhm.
not.
And I don't know if that is due to the fact that his dad was never home and like his mom was,
Drunk in
bed all the
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of that, but it persisted all the way until now. Like
Honest-
even now he just has
Yeah.
this crazy desire, and he in his head, like for example, what was the thing he did like 2 years ago with the SeaWorld, where he went on that big bridge and had a
yeah.
inflatable whale up there trying to fight against
Yeah.
SeaWorld? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
that ain't normal. Like he
Yeah.
he craves attention to a point that isn't healthy.
Yeah. I think a lot of it, like, it can also be the whole, like, ADHD thing. Because, I mean, like, you know, like, my boyfriend, he has ADHD, and he's very, anybody will know, when you walk into the house, he's kind of a very Steve-O-y.
Ask me how many times I've seen Nate's butthole in the last week.
Exactly.
How many?
Too many.
I've been to their house 5 days this week, probably. Well, okay, no, I haven't, but
At least three.
yeah, probably 3 times
Yeah.
this week, and I've seen Nate's butthole probably 3 times.
That's solid.
Yeah.
We
He'll
see it
do
every
it
time.
anytime he hears someone coming into the room, he will immediately, no matter what he's doing, we would literally even be, like, having sex or something, he'd be like, 1 second, run outside, show his butthole, they'll come out, and he'll be like, and then,
It's
like,
not
just
even-
run away.
It's not even just when I come in the house, though, anymore. Like,
It's just whatever.
I know when I am walking in their house to close my eyes or look away, because I can see him walk past the window
Yep.
to be showing me his butthole every single day.
Every time.
Has he got a
Every time.
wild card into the house yet? Because I'm finna grab that ass.
No, literally, when you guys were talking, when I was talking to you and Forrest about it, and you guys were like, I mean, if he does that around us, we're just gonna be like,
I'm going.
full force towards, and I was like, please do.
Do it.
I-
Stoney,
Please.
Yeah.
Stoney's almost worse.
Stony does.
Nate's butthole isn't as scary as Stoney's.
Stony has like fissures and like a lot of hair.
Yeah, Stoney has a lot of hair, and he's gotten to the point now where like no one's faced by his butthole, so he pulls his whole scrotum over too.
Yeah,
You got
that's
to,
what we
yeah,
call
yeah.
goading.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It makes sense.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like everyone walks down, they're like,
Stony. I remember one time that I was like, I felt pretty cool because he high-fived me after, and he was like, that was pretty badass. But I walked down, and this is like one of the first times that I actually saw his butthole, but I was so used to it with Nate. Even though it was more like gnarly, you know? He was looking at me because like his head was like, he was basically
he
like
was-
that, spreading his cheeks. I look his butthole right in the eye, and I stare at it. And then he was just kind of like, gets up, and he was like, you really just kind of stared that shit down, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, fuck yeah. He like high-fived. He's like, that's pretty badass.
It's really punk rock of you.
Yeah, their buttholes.
See, the thing is with Nate, like, I've gotten to the point now where I'll just, like, see it and, like, casually, like, be, like, kind of like, oh, whatever, and then I'll start running to it so I can grab his ass just to make him uncomfortable. Because he'll instantly, like, almost, like, he'll have it down, and then he'll, like, propel himself, so he's like, don't touch my butt. Because he doesn't like when people touch his butt at all. So it's funny that he presents it all the time, but doesn't like
You're
it
like,
already.
you should kick him next time with bare feet.
He hates feet, and that would literally be his epitome of hell. He might never do that again.
Put my big toe up his butt.
He doesn't show me his butthole anymore, specifically because one time he did, and he had some toilet paper stuck on the ass. And I literally walked up to him, and I was like, you got some toilet paper right on your asshole. And he was like, I am so embarrassed. And it was just like, he was like, that's even worse than there's like being some like, just a little poop or something. He's like, toilet paper, like poop, that's supposed to be there. But toilet paper, that is not originally produced in that area. So I have not seen his butthole intentionally yet, ever since then.
Hey, Bella, can I have one of these?
Yeah.
Strombo.
Do you want one, Ellie?
Yeah, I do. What is it?
Why Johnny Knoxville
cider.
background? Because we read Steve O, Professional Idiot, a memoir.
But
Also, it's not Johnny
John
Knoxville.
That's Steve-O.
This is
I think the one thing that I
Well,
really liked about
yeah.
it that was interesting for me being such a fan of all their stuff is him talking about Bam Margera because he was extremely jealous of Bam.
Whoa. I mean, would you not be jealous?
Well,
of that?
that's the thing that he
I
said.
would.
He's all like,
honestly.
he was doing gnarly ass stunts. He was like, everyone liked him, and he was good fucking looking. And he's all like, and I was jealous, and I felt like I had to now compete even harder with Bam.
Bam Margera is so hot.
I mean, honestly, though, Steve O could also, he could get these inches.
Especially
Yeah.
now. Him
Right
as an
now?
Older, him as an older man? Yeah.
They kind of flip flopped because now Bam just looks like his dad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, but Steve-O, now, as an older man,
I've got to pee a little bit.
So,
looks pretty good.
the only reason I haven't seen the Jackass franchise really at all.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know Steve-O was a person.
What did you think he was?
He was
See,
not a person.
all I heard until like 2 years ago
I don't know.
was the song Wild Boys.
Oh,
Wild
really?
Boys is a TV
I'm
show.
a wild boy. I'm a wild boy.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
thought the singer just really wanted us to call him Steve. I thought that was like a thing. R. Kelly, like, what you doing?
Right.
So I was actually joking around with a coworker at Sizzler. This was less than 2 years ago. And I was like, why does R. Kelly want us to call him Steve so bad? It was so weird. And literally everyone in the office just kind of stopped and gave me the,
Honey.
Allie, you're a fucking moron. Look.
So you know what all of it is though, right? Like Jackass,
Yeah,
like
so I've
do
seen
dumb
it
stunts
since
and
then.
oh, okay.
Not extensively, but like,
It makes you feel better. I haven't seen a Jackass movie ever.
I also haven't ever watched Jackass. I'm just not really into watching people, like, hurt themselves, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I know.
I think I've seen,
yeah.
like, snippets, and they're funny.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't watch a whole movie, and I've never seen Wild Boys either. No.
I
Is it-
haven't.
Yeah,
Is it
the
good?
one where they're naked. That one's
Oh.
funny.
Oh,
Sounds
I'd
funny.
watch. I'd see that.
His new girlfriend is. I've never seen anyone more about him
Yeah.
in my life. She
Yeah.
like
That's so
is
sweet.
full blown like matches his crazy.
Yeah, well,
I
have you
think
seen that
it was-
video where
Yeah.
they with the hot sauce?
Oh.
the
Yeah,
hot
we watched
sauce?
it here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's so down to put that hot sauce
she
right
was
in there.
so down. She was as excited as he was.
She.
Yeah.
You see, that's why, like, I believe, like, I don't believe in soulmates per se, but I believe there is a person out there to match you, especially after seeing, like, Steve-O's girlfriend literally shove hot sauce up his ass. I was like, that takes a special kind of woman, and everyone deserves someone to match you on putting hot sauce up your ass. There's a person for everybody, but I feel like Steve-O's finally found the girl.
That's arguably not even the worst thing that's happened to her either. Like,
No, if Sony asked me to put hot sauce in his butthole, I would.
no.
I would
Probably
maybe
would.
suggest not to,
Ooh,
but
she
I would
sent
do
it to
it.
you.
I mean, yeah, I
South.
think
Sure.
if my girlfriend asked me for pretty much anything I probably would. I don't know where my line draws.
Yeah.
I don't either necessarily, but
See, I've never been asked, like...
if I asked Tony to put hot sauce in
That's
my
precious,
butthole,
almost.
and I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of how
she
they
has
do it.
such a nice ass.
She
I don't know, I'm a very ass girl. Like, I love boy ass, girl ass. Doesn't really matter. I just like ass in general. I mean, I don't really give a shit. I just like bodies in general because I feel like weird. Like, people's bodies are just so weird to me sometimes because it's like, there's a shit ton of flesh and organs in there. But
Yeah,
not
at the
like
end
in
of
a
the day, it's
serial... Not like a serial killer where I'm like, oh, I wonder what those look like on the floor.
Like, you're just constantly, man, that's a lot of flesh. I wonder what that would feel like on my flesh.
But more of the lines of those, like... But, like... I don't know where I was going with that. But... no, but, like, I really feel like there is a person for everybody. I just feel like I've never had someone that's, like, been extreme enough to do that. But I feel like I'm such a, like, a nice, caring person that I would just do that for anybody. I'd be like, you want some hot sauce up your ass? Let's do it.
Tapatio?
If Stoney's pretty extreme. He intentionally does things
Thank
when
you,
I'm
Brittany,
not
for that
around,
picture.
so I can't talk him out of them. Ask him about the last time that he had his tailbone bruised because he did a backflip off a tree drunk.
Hell yeah.
Boys should not climb trees when they're drunk. It just never works out.
We've had
Or
to
it's
tell them
great.
that so many... No,
as
literally...
long as I'm holding the phone recording, I'm down for it.
Right.
No, we one time had Matt climbed a tree. I don't even know if he was drunk. I have no idea. Besides the point, he fell off the tree and he was stuck there for a second and we were like, "You good?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I think I just scratched my back really hard." Pulled his shirt up. He had a whole tree limb sticking out of his back.
Oh.
And we had to drive him to the hospital in the middle of the night so that he could have it removed, and it was this far from puncturing his lung.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Through his back.
God damn.
That's why we don't
Yeah.
let the boys climb trees anymore.
Yeah,
when
that's
they're
why
drunk.
they're not allowed to climb trees. It's not because anything,
Yeah.
not because...
That makes sense.
It's specifically because one person got really hurt. So, yeah, they're...
I like serial killer girls.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can be a serial killer if I wanted to be.
Okay,
I feel
side
like anybody
question.
can.
Yes.
If you were going to be a serial killer,
Yes.
what is your weapon of choice?
My hands.
Really?
More personal?
Yeah, I feel like I would be like how what are the insects that not grasshoppers but those kind of
Praying mantis?
praying mantis. I feel like I'd be a praying mantis. Like I would be fucking a guy and then I would just choke him the fuck out and then I would gut him when he's dead. I feel like that's how I'd be as a serial killer because I don't know. I don't think about it a lot, but I do think about it sometimes. Just because when you're on top, you're like, oh, I have so much power, I can just kill you. But I mean, I don't want to do it a lot. I just I like having that power.
Wait. I like to think. I would like to think that you're just sitting there doing the deed, and you're you're looking around the room I have so much power, I could just fucking kill him right now.
What? Are you going to kill somebody?
Maybe.
Maybe.
With your hands.
No, Wes asked the question of how, if you were a serial killer, how would your weapon be? And I feel like I want to be a praying mantis, kind of
Yeah.
like someone who had sex with someone and then kill him. But I was saying, when you're on top and you have all that power, because they're not paying attention because you're on top. I feel like that's when you're you get the good choke and you can just kill
you
them.
let
And
them
then
choke your mans while you're on top. Are you even really balling out?
I always like to choke my mans when I'm on top because if I have to be on,
Honestly, same.
if I have to be on top, which I don't mind doing, it's just it's so much work that I'm I don't know where to put my hands, so just gonna kill you right now.
Just gonna fucking you're
I didn't know what else to do with my hands, so I killed him.
I killed him.
So I
know
feel
what to do. Might as well.
So I feel like if I was to be a serial
Whoopsie.
killer,
Oh, sorry.
fully be a serial killer, I want to be a sex serial killer where I kill them during sex, like a praying mantis.
Yeah.
They have
But you
sex with
don't
them.
eat their head, you just choke them out.
I just
mean-
choke them out and then I gut them. But then I would
I got them.
Yeah.
I also have never thought that while having sex.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, it's not
Probably 'cause
like
I'm
a
a virgin.
regular thing.
She's a virgin.
Yeah, little pussy ass boy.
I've thought about that before.
Man, you guys are
Definitely.
wild.
You guys
No.
are
But
psycho.
no, it's like just because you like have your, you're right there, and it's like, I mean, if I really wanted to,
also-
and I just kind of went boom, like I could crush your throat.
I think
right
that
now.
more when I'm driving. Than
If you have like
Oh,
the
yeah,
sharp
definitely.
fake nails and you're on top, I think about just like clawing into his chest and pulling out his heart. Like it's just
Jesus Christ! I'm surrounded by a bunch of killers.
what kind of water are you guys
Do you want to
drinking?
come sit over here? Because like we were trying to
We're
kill.
gonna die
that
quick.
powerful feeling. Of,
You'll
like,
die fun.
Yeah.
I could
Well,
do this right now.
Because when you're on top, it's just like so much
Oh, trust
more.
me, I've been there.
I've been on
I've
top.
had my hand choking someone, and I'm like, I don't want to kill this person. That doesn't even cross my mind.
It's not that I've ever wanted to kill. I just like
No,
I know I
yeah.
can.
It's kind of like
It's
the
thought
thought.
that you could.
Yeah, that it's like obviously you don't want to kill them, so you're like, I gotta be careful. But also, like, if I was a murderer,
I
I
gotta
could definitely just kind of like.
Well, because I feel like as a female, it's so hard to like. I mean, think of all the famous serial killers, like that one hitchhiking girl that was like, yeah, like she was a
She
lesbian.
shot them.
She would shoot them, but like she would have sex with them and then shoot them because it's like you have to get that. Like,
She-
was,
I don't
she was
think
a lesbian.
She did. She was a lesbian, but she was.
would
she would get picked up for like prostitution, but then she shot them. I don't think she
Instead.
ever.
had sex with them. But see,
No.
that's the thing is that you get like guys in a vulnerable state. I feel like for a girl,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
really
yeah.
hard to be like I'm not saying like this is what I would do,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying like as a female, it's so like, you can't really like out strengthen a male. Like let's think about it. We're weaker, but when you're like no. Like okay, you know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say.
Let's just compare some things here. Specifically us,
Us?
Okay.
both of us, our boyfriends are. I mean, like, listen, Brayden can definitely beat me in an arm wrestle, but can he beat me in a leg wrestle?
No.
We
No.
have tried recently. The answer
Yeah.
is no. Him or Nate.
Oh yeah,
both
when we
of
were
us.
leg wrestling, I don't understand how Brody was able to beat us. I mean, it makes sense.
I
but
know
also...
exactly why he was able to beat us.
It's because he has
Because
thick
he-
thighs.
he
Saves
has-
lives.
He has thick thighs, and he's also 6'5", and he also weighs more than both of us.
But
See,
you know
It's like
what?
double you.
Generally,
Girl wants to dream.
men are bigger
And they're
and
stronger.
they're stronger.
But
Not
I feel like
Yeah.
personally, case by case, but just
in general, because like
I'm
I
a strong
feel
ass woman.
No,
Just saying.
okay, well I'm not. So if I feel like if I was to have to kill somebody, I would be like a Red Sparrow, like Jennifer Lawrence, do a sex thing and then kill them while during having sex.
No, yeah.
Centipede them, bitch. No way.
Honestly.
Like I just feel like I don't know. Like I feel like as a woman, it's really hard to overpower a man in general. I don't know. I'm not strong. I'm not at all.
Exactly, same. And I also think being on top in sex is one of the most powerful
Power move.
positions
For
in
a
my
woman,
life.
but I'm
Like-
not saying I would
What
kill
started
a
this
man.
conversation? That's what I'm wondering.
Wes asked how we would kill a man, and this
Oh,
is how
you
we.
started talking about like.
Or
oh,
just
well,
anyone in
that's-
general.
Oh, just
It's
anyone.
true.
If you were a serial
Say.
killer, what would be your weapon? Is what I
Well,
asked.
otherwise, if it wasn't sex, it would be a
Poison.
gun because I'm not.
Spatula.
Can I just appreciate
So I'm gonna be the hash
fact-
slinging
Slasher.
slasher.
That's amazing.
Can I just appreciate the fact that everyone here, aside from Wes, just kind of went directly to killing men? Like,
Oh yeah,
Nobody
I would
else,
never.
just men.
Yeah,
Oh, well, why
It's
would I
okay.
kill a woman?
No, I mean,
I'm just gonna unanimously kill everybody.
you're just kind of like.
Everyone's
I don't
gonna get the
discriminate.
spatula. I don't know.
Like,
Get a little bit of spatula in their assholes.
Yeah,
in their
Gotta grease it up.
assholes.
Yeah.
Give it a good greasing.
yeah.
Good
Get it
greasing.
hot on the oven. Just
like a hot rod just
Yeah.
in the ass.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I feel like I've seen that in like a horror movie or
oh,
something.
I'm sure
No,
it's
that was a
happening.
horror
thing
movie
for
porn?
that guy
You should watch.
Vladimir,
Putin?
Who?
no.
Oh
No,
yeah,
in
the
like
Outlander. No.
no,
Outla-
he was a
Do
real
you watch
person.
Outlander?
No, he's a real person. It was like a Russian.
No, I know what you're talking about, a
he
Russian
was a
serial killer?
Russian. What do they call them there? Russian
Tsar?
Tsar, but like medieval times, he
Okay.
would put like conquering victims on sticks
Oh, hell
outside his
yeah.
outside his castle to like
Yeah.
ward off
Yeah,
people
yeah.
from coming to like try and conquer him.
I
Yeah.
want to go. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing's more welcoming than heads on a
Yeah.
bike.
No, they
Honestly.
weren't just heads. There was full
It
bodies.
was a whole body.
Oh.
they go through their butthole and out through their mouth. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Okay.
What
No,
was his
yeah.
name?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know who it is.
It was real. It was a real
Yeah,
person.
Let's
yeah.
just call him Vlad. Vlad, my man.
Are we just
I
talking
don't
about
even know
Vlad the
last name is
Impaler? Because that's
Yeah.
Vlad the Impaler.
he's what
Because he's impaled people.
he's also what people think is where
Dracula.
Dracula came
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad, Allie, you
That
understand
guy
what I'm
was
talking about.
vicious history. Like his history is crazy, and that guy on the battlefield was a very scary thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I love history, and like that guy in particular, like he was known to just kill a lot of people.
Just kinda fucking
Yeah,
kill.
and just prop him up.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
probably just
good.
impale him.
Good time.
Boop.
I like to think that basic language back in the day, and he was just like, "Bought you on stick," and then just like he just lifts the body up and puts it on. Everyone's like, "Vlad, why are you doing
They're
this?"
like, Jesus Christ, Vlad, not again.
That's 45.
Stop.
Look at your row of people, and he's like, "Just for good."
It's
It's like,
good.
fuck, what the hell is he
It's been
doing?
good.
Like,
It's been good. It's only 45 right now. It'll be a while for
Yeah.
for 6.
And then we're all related to Genghis Khan because you know that guy did a lot of that.
That guy did a lot of. Yeah.
Bang, what is it?
What?
What's his name?
What's whose name?
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Kong? Or like Genghis Dong.
Yeah.
I feel like I want like my porn star name to be something with like a
Mangus
dong.
Dong.
Like I wouldn't.
Your porn star name would be something dong. Would you only wear a strap on?
I guess so.
Yeah.
If I had to be like a dong female, it'd have to be a strap-on
Yeah.
porn star.
If you were going to be a porn star, would you be a dom and lesbian porn? That's
Would you
the real
be the
question.
dom with the dong?
Yeah, I
Dong
probably
with-
would. Well, I
Dom
feel
dong.
like
What if you just typed? What if
Yeah.
you just spelled it like this? Bang dis dong.
bang this.
Bangus Dong, yeah!
Yeah.
That's smart.
Okay. Well, I'm here.
Bang
Gotta,
this dong.
you gotta see what pops up.
Oriental music.
A wind
One.
instrument.
Wind instrument.
There's a wind instrument.
Oh my god. Okay.
Bendis Dong is like a critical history of music.
Are you kidding?
I am so happy in life.
Maybe that can be like a good porn name, but only in the background, music-wise, would be this instrument.
Right?
Bandito's song.
Yeah, what the hell is
Banditos.
going on?
That's interesting.
This
It looks
isn't
just
what I
like
was
a flute.
expecting.
No, me
No,
neither. But
not
hey,
at all.
the more
no.
you know, right?
The more you know.
Huh.
Love that. Okay. All right.
Well,
Anyways,
So
how would you kill somebody? We never went over
Yeah.
everyone else's. I feel like we went on mine for a long time.
spatula, choking someone out with sex.
Well,
or just
I
sex in general, choking someone out.
like if like
I
a
don't know.
yeah, you know.
You know,
I feel
killing
like
someone
people
with
are
sex.
just so vulnerable during sex
No, yeah, definitely. Like I agree. I definitely would use
because
my sexuality.
I am not
to
strong.
lure in people.
Well, 'cause,
but it
like,
doesn't have
that-
to exclude women. I can also
You can just fuck women up.
fucking
Anyways,
kill people. I don't know.
how? Let's go down the road. How would you 3 kill somebody if you were a serial killer?
I would use a syringe.
That's smart.
And,
Like, would you
put,
do
like,
the air syringe?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That
Oh.
scares me. But like also,
That scares me. But
I don't know why. Because like the air in this like in your like veins like
That's
kills you
terrifying,
instant.
yeah.
Like it just I don't know.
I don't think I could ever put myself in a position where I would.
Well, I
Need
could
to do
never.
that,
I would
but-
never kill somebody. But it's
Right.
like
Yeah,
That's
no.
like if you
I just like
die.
can't think of a
Yeah.
realistic situation where I would just have my syringe handy.
Yeah.
Carry it
I would have-
around with you.
I
your
would have
air
to like
syringe.
really think about it a lot, but a syringe. I watched a CSI episode on it, and that's been since then. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, that seems like the most
okay,
like
I like
the
it.
easiest way
That's
to go about it.
fast and less bloody. So there's not a lot of
Probably while
cleanup.
they're sleeping.
What about you, Allie?
See, here's the thing.
Sorry.
I
She's
was
thought about it.
She's like, eh.
I would really, the most important thing is to not get caught, right?
Yeah, obviously.
And so I've thought about a couple of options. Like, for example,
I have
you
way more
could
options.
take a steel pole and then craft like an ice weapon around that and stab
Like
them.
an icicle.
Icicle,
Yeah.
so then it melts.
So then it melts, but then you kind of have to wait for it to melt to remove the steel rod, and that just seems time consuming.
Why don't you just use an actual icicle?
I just don't think it would have the strength.
Have you seen the icicles that come off my house in the winter?
No, see that's the thing is there's been like so many like like, I don't know, like those stupid, like, how did this person die if there's no bloody weapon? And it's always been like an icicle or some stupid shit. But I feel like that's a good weapon because there's no fingerprints, because it melts.
Yeah.
You can, like, put it in your pants and just wait till it. I mean, you don't have to put it in your pants, but, like, you just have to, like, bring it into your house and wait. Like, you can put some more water on it. Your fingerprints are gone. The blood's gone. It's just gone. You could be, but also, you can only really do that in the winter.
It's true, but that would have the added advantage of changing the body's temperature, which would make the time of death harder to diagnose.
Ooh.
That's true.
So I feel like
kind of like cauterizing, but like
Opposite.
Opposite.
I feel like if anything, Dream World.
Dream Murder World.
I would want like I just like claws. I like having claws.
You could do like
Which
some
is why I like fake nails.
like Lady Gaga in season 5 of American Horror Story, where she had like those attachable claws.
I
and
would
she like
let
could
her
just
kill me with
slash.
that, that's
But
for sure.
theoretically, ice claws.
Ice claws.
You can make those. You can
Melt.
make a mold.
Exactly.
Stick your
That's
fingers
the
in
way
there,
to go.
go and kill someone, and then just kind of.
Because you can also do it like where it's like metal like on your fingertips, and then do like the claw part like icicle, and then you just slash it, and then like the metal part's not an issue because it's like on your finger,
Exactly.
and it just looks like almost like just like a little like accessory, but it's actually a claw.
that or acid. I feel like acid would be effective and fun.
Also, fuck you, because acid always freaks me out. Like those people that are like, I got acid thrown on me, that's why I look like
Right?
this. I don't like that. But anyways,
Like
if it doesn't kill, it will maim.
Right.
Yeah.
they
Good
will remember
point.
your name.
You will remember me.
I think I would train a tiger.
Train a
That'd be
tiger to go
cool.
kill
Oh, yeah.
someone.
It's like, hey,
That's smart.
you get
Well,
it.
and then you can just keep the body until it eats it all,
Yeah.
That's true.
and then put the acid, the bones in acid, or some stupid shit. I don't know. Or throw them around the world.
Or make jewelry out of them and sell them on Etsy.
And then you could be like, it's from the other tigers that I
Make
used to
extra
own.
money, why not?
Make a career out of it.
Do you think there's some? Never mind. There's probably like some weirdo out there. What if there's like an Etsy shop that you buy like secretly human bones that are like
I'm
from a
sure
serial killer?
that's-
There's
Yeah.
probably
That's
something.
insane. Etsy's a crazy
You
world.
can get
Honestly.
real human teeth that were pulled
Yeah.
on the internet.
Well, I mean,
I mean, on the
anything
dark
off the
web, you
internet.
can get anything.
Yeah,
Anything.
you
You
can,
can literally
get
get
anything off
anything.
Purchase
some-
I don't know
Yes, dogs.
Purchase dong.
Dog
currency.
I want to know what that is, and I want to buy it.
It's Disney World, or Disneyland and Disney World bought actual human skulls from the UCLA, I think,
Yeah.
back a long time ago. Most of them
Some-
have been have been given back, but back a long time ago when they originally had like Pirates of the Caribbean, when the Pirates
Oh,
of the
with like the
Caribbean
skulls
was
and
made.
stuff. Yeah.
There was a guy there who was selling the donated remains of people to like the highest bidder, and Disneyland had a
Yeah.
lot of human skulls.
Do you want to buy a rib off Amazon?
$40. 14.
Oh, that's cheap.
$4.14 with shipping.
That's pretty cheap.
Ain't about it.
It's out of my range with that.
Yeah,
You're just
honestly,
gonna
that
send it to
shipping.
Forest House. How hilarious would that be if you
He
just,
just gets a
ordered it?
rib.
Damn.
That would be so funny.
I bookmarked that. That would be a good one.
Bookmark. One thing that I realized that is kind of. Do you guys? So my parents told me. Well, my grandpa. They used to go hunting a lot and all that stuff, and they ate a lot of meat. A lot of meat.
Mm-hmm.
He would then get the bones from the meat, and just the rest of the night, he would literally gnaw on the bone, and then he'd like suck the marrow
Yeah, I know a lot of people
out of
do
it.
that.
Do you know people who do that?
That's the thing, yeah.
That's like I remember hearing about that, and I was like, "What? Is that a thing you can do?"
Thanks for the compliment.
Thank you.
Said that at the same time. Great, I love that.
We were talking to a girl yesterday about twerk classes, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to be teaching one in Bountiful." And both of us at the same time were like, "We live there!"
We're like, "That's where we
And
live."
she was like, "Whoa."
Okay.
I follow her on Instagram originally, and we watched her during the burlesque show and everything.
Yeah.
And she teaches classes, and also was kind of into like she knows my belly dance teacher, who I was also like, you know, I helped run the belly dance club with her and everything, and she always talked about her classes and all that. And so I always just followed her on Instagram and all that stuff, but now I'm not a part of the Slick belly dance club. And so when we saw her perform, I was like,
shook.
she's here.
Were you waiting for me or something?
That's literally like
Yes.
what happened. She came up and Cass was like,
I was literally like, that's her, that's her.
she's a little starstruck.
About
I
who?
love her. Her abs were amazing.
They were.
They were.
Thank you.
She
You
had
know
the-
that anytime I see your abs, I.
Joke's on you. I have only a 1-pack. It's a little baby gut.
We out here. But yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
We're probably going to take a class from her.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Oh. But I think I would kill someone.
Yes, I love to know.
In, so I would love to do, like, poison. But
Mm-hmm.
poison that would kill them, like, later on.
Hmm.
Or, like,
Poison
slowly
dart.
poison someone.
Right.
You know,
Would
kind
you,
of to a point.
Like, stalk them to see how it's going?
Probably.
Would it be
Or-
like someone that's like your enemy and you just slowly like hang out with them all the time and slowly feed them poison?
Well, so
Mm.
I just listened to this other podcast not too long ago, and he was talking about a guy in like the early like 1800s, or not 1800s, like or the early like late 1800s, early 1900s, somewhere around that time.
Mhm.
And he was saying that he was like consistently poisoning his wives with arsenic, stealing their money, and then he
Yeah.
would move on to the next one. And it was like years and years and years that
Yeah.
went on. It was like 30 years that
Yeah.
went on of him poisoning his wives with arsenic and then being so concerned and being like, I don't
I love
know.
these things. These are
They
so
just
fucking
got so
good.
sick all of a sudden, and they would be like sick and dying for like weeks, and he would sit by their side and be like, I don't know what happened, all this stuff, and then he would move on after he stole all their money,
Well,
and then he would unbury them, steal their organs so that they could never come back and be like, oh, she was poisoned with arsenic,
Yeah.
and like flush them down a river.
see, the thing is with arsenic,
I mean,
because like with arsenic, you don't really can
Bookmark.
tell in because
At
most of
first,
you
yeah.
can't tell at first unless you dig deep into it. Because like
Mhm.
yeah.
with like, oh my god, a messed up book, the Flowers in the Attic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That book, I loved that book, and I kind of want to read the series because it just keeps getting worse. No.
Holy!
Listen. I've read the first book already.
I remember you telling us about that book when we were at the bakery. You literally busted up in there. It's like, 5 in the morning. We're baking stuff off for the day. And she's like, let me tell ya, the brother and the sister fucked.
No,
That's literally like the whole plot of Flowers in the Attic.
no, but the thing is, oh my god, the story of the whole series is insane.
But with the powdered donuts and everything.
because that's
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
the two older siblings with the two little baby twins, because they were like 6 or 7,
Yeah.
they were like trying to like protect them, be sweet to them, so they would feed them the powdered donuts, but in the powdered donuts there's arsenic because you can't taste it with sugar.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with arsenic. If you were going to poison someone, arsenic is the
Bookmark.
place to go.
Bookmark. That reminds me of
Yeah.
We Live in a Castle.
We
Remember
Live in
we
a
just
Castle.
watched that. She
Yeah.
put the arsenic in the sugar bowl.
Yes.
And she put it in there because she knows her sister didn't like sugar, and her sister would be the only one to not actually.
Eat the sugar,
Eat
but she
the
wanted to
sugar.
kill her.
Her
especially-
dad, her
and
mom, and just basically all
and
of
her-
the
any of the
older
adults,
people. Yeah.
because they were so mean to her because she was so weird.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about like the whole thing is that she didn't want her sister to die, so she put it in the sugar. Because like with arsenic, you can hide it in sugar, and it's not
Mhm.
easily like traceable on autopsies unless you're looking for it. So that's why with the guy that like would poison his wives, it worked so well because they were older anyways.
Yeah.
So it worked out because it always looked like a heart thing.
Well, they weren't that old.
But I mean, either way, it doesn't. It's you don't really notice arsenic unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So that's why with like Flowers in the Attic, they did it with the children because they were hoping all the children would eat the donuts, but literally none of the older kids did. Except
Oh,
even
nice.
like the younger sister did a little, but not that much. And you can
Yeah.
like kind of like survive off of it just by like
And it's just like little doses and stuff.
yeah. So that's what like the grandma did to kill him. But no, the whole series. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the ending at the end because it like the whole series.
No, I know what happens.
You know, but do you know like the whole like, but not the like the book,
Yeah.
but you know the whole series.
Well, I watched the movie.
No, but like the whole series. There's more.
No, I just watched the first movie.
Oh my god, I watched the first movie too. It's weird because the girl who is in Sabrina, that Kieran, something or another. Sabrina's in the movie. It's
The
weird.
Teenage Witch.
Yeah, the new one, the
new
Netflix one.
Oh, okay. haven't
So
seen
that
one.
girl, the girl that was Sabrina and Teenage Witch.
What the fuck? And also, we do read a book every week.
Not every
Not
month.
every week,
every
Once a month.
Every
One.
month.
We read a book every
We're not
month,
that fast.
Yes.
and then we come on here and we
Talk about
Talk
it.
about it.
well, okay, we start the conversation with the book. It doesn't necessarily always keep.
End with a book.
It doesn't always keep going on the book. No one read this book that we chose this week except for me and Wes.
No, honestly.
And
That's
kinda
weird.
Holly.
I read like the first fourth of it.
I looked
Which
at
is weird. I don't
reviews.
usually read it.
Which is weird, yeah, because normally it's like me and Wes that always finish it. But like,
usually read most of it.
I've read,
read a good half of it.
Yeah.
I've read
And then you
every-
don't read it.
it's so
Also-
weird because I've read every book but this one.
Well, this book specifically, I
It's so
already
hard.
had some ideas about because I was already watching his YouTube channel, like his YouTube videos, and a lot of what's on his YouTube channel is on this. And literally every one of his like interviews and a lot of his YouTube videos always end with, "If you want to hear more about this story or all the details, read it in my book because I don't hold back any details." I'm
Really
not
plugs
saying
his
he
shit in there,
doesn't
huh?
hold, like, there's definitely more details in the book than there are on his videos, but like the general consensus of the story is on his YouTube channel for like
Yeah.
most of what's going on. I mean, pretty much the stuff he doesn't really talk about on his YouTube channel is like the behind the scenes of Jackass, and he does talk about that in
Right.
his book.
yeah.
I also did get like 6 hours into the Nikki Six book.
You did?
Oh, I
Was
really
it
want to
good?
read
Was
that.
it kind of like this though, where it was
We
kind of
should
sad?
share Audible accounts because I want to read what you read and then you can read what I read.
All right.
I buy a lot. I buy the 3 or like the 3 credit a month ones because I listen to so many
Yeah.
audiobooks because of my work, so I have a lot. If any of you want,
The
I'll
Nikki
You
give
Six
watched
one
The
was
Dirt?
Yes, Dirt's great.
Awesome. Amazing.
I need to watch the first part. But
She
I
only
haven't
watched the
watched it.
second half when I was watching it, and she came in, she's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Sit down."
The book was weird because the first little bit starts off. I got the 10th or 20th anniversary.
Hey, creepy
of
Mike,
it.
why don't you just suck my ass? I'm not gonna read the Bible.
Maybe she will. Who knows?
I read the children's Bible because it's a shorter version, and I like
Shorter.
to during the end. I don't
True.
know.
Not during the end of the Bible.
I've
Yeah.
never read the Bible. I'm a heathen.
Holly, you
It's
know what
super
happens.
long and
Actually, I
boring.
don't. I've never been really sure with religion at all.
I
I
was-
don't know at all.
He
I
dies.
was raised Mormon.
Who
so-
dies?
I was raised
Same.
religious, Episcopalian.
I was raised
I know.
Mormon.
Yeah.
That's the church-like thing.
Really?
The one over here in Bountiful.
No
That's the church you
way!
clean. Is
Yeah.
I know the pastor.
Yeah, she's very nice lady.
She is. She's
Sweetheart.
mine. And she left. I've never forgiven her.
The
I've
only
never
true church is the Jewish church, so it's fine. I'm 0.08 Jewish. Don't even come at me.
I got my 23 and me.
No, the Nikki Six one seems like it was going to be a lot more.
Drugs.
It's very.
Intense.
You can see the similarities, and it's funny because Steve-O, that was his idols. He
Yeah.
loved
actually-
Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did think that was interesting because he like is like friends with them later on, and
In this, actually, there are editorial reviews for Steve-O's book. And so this one, actually, this is Johnny Knoxville. He said, "It's mind-blowing to me how utterly far gone Steve-O was, and how he looks back on it in this book with such intelligence, humor, searing honesty, and what a truly unbelievable life."
Agree.
So that was Johnny Knoxville. But then Nikki Sixx also said, "Great book to read before you get on the roller coaster to hell. If you plan on surviving to tell about it, if you plan on surviving to tell about it like Steve-O did." And then basically, this is the perfect book for people who hate reading. And that was from Tommy Lee.
That's pretty
So,
good.
Also
I agree.
Nice.
I don't like to read, and I read this book.
That's pretty like impressive.
As
Well, that sounded bad. I'm sorry.
Somebody just said, this is the #1 review on this website, on barnesandnoble.com actually, for this. It basically says, "Steve-O is my kind of idol, smiley face. I yelled at my mom when she told me he was on drugs. I didn't believe her until this book and his documentary. I love you, Steve-O. We all make mistakes sometimes."
No, actually, the Venom, if you go... We have a Patreon account, and me and my other co-host for the other podcast that we do,
Forrest.
his name's Forrest, we do a series called The Bible Boys.
Bible Boys?
It's a little bit... We haven't done one in a while, but we actually go through on Patreon and read the Bible.
Same, Brittany. I also am 98% white.
Yeah.
Probably. This is why I did
Brittany-
not order one.
Okay,
I
I
haven't done
did.
one. I just know that I'm 98%
No,
white.
I did a 23andMe. You want to hear my like biology? I am 28% UK, like Irish and British.
Yeah.
14% Finland because my grandpa's from there.
Also white.
So basically everything white. I
Yeah,
have
that makes sense.
0% anything outside of Europe.
Same.
Besides the 0.08 Jewish. So I'm Jewish. Not really.
No, I see you every day. I know you're not Jewish.
Okay, listen here. I don't need this discrimination. I don't need this harassment. My people did not go through the Holocaust to deal with this. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You're like, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
That was good.
No, I'm really just joking because like I'm only pointing.
Jesus Christ.
But if it makes you feel better, my mom told me I was Jewish and I believed her for 4 years.
Because she wanted to celebrate more holidays than just Christmas.
We celebrated I know the dreidel song by heart because of this bitch. Because I would listen. She told me I was Jewish, so we would celebrate Hanukkah, and as a child, I didn't know the difference.
So you're like, alright.
So you're like, oh yeah, definitely, we're Jewish now. No, we're Lutheran. So we're fine.
We're Lutheran.
I'm baptized as Lutheran, technically, so.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, no, 100%
I'm
I am.
a baptized Mormon.
I'm a
Aww.
baptized Mormon, but when I was younger and living in North Carolina, I mostly went to a Presbyterian school, and
They didn't really have Mormon
everybody
church.
else was Presbyterian mostly the whole time.
Well,
So
yeah.
kind of like in my younger years, that was
Yeah. I went to a Lutheran, like, preschool kind of thing.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah,
like, you know, like the church daycares. Like, that's what I went to. Want to hear a funny story?
I do.
So, like, as a kid, see, this is, like, how I am as a person. I don't take bullshit from, like, day 1 to day 2. So, like,
That sucks. I got some bullshit right there.
I got some bullshit.
well, like, I mean, like, I can take bullshit, but, like, as a kid, like, because, like, as a kid, I can never be bullied.
Oh. Epstein.
Epstein.
Come here.
Is that what we're gonna name him?
Yeah, that's
Is that his
definitely
name?
Epstein.
Epstein.
But, like,
You
as
didn't
a
kill
kid,
yourself,
like,
did you, bud?
Did you?
like the thing is, like, I could never really be bullied as a kid because, like, I just really wouldn't take the bullshit because, like, when I was even in, like, preschool, like, I was 4, this girl would try to steal my markers. I deadass, like, we apparently, like, my dad watched this in person because, like, they were, like, doing, like, color time, and this girl was trying to steal my markers, so I picked up the marker basket, slammed it on her head, took my marker back, and I kept coloring.
Good, fuck that bitch.
Hell yeah.
No, she was a little bitch, because, like, I was 3 at the
Damn,
time.
yeah.
But my
What?
dad,
You are the least confrontational person I've ever met in my life.
I really am, but as a kid, I wasn't. I literally got, like, as a kid, I was, like, non-confrontational. Like, I was very confrontational, so if
Yeah.
anyone has a problem with me, I'd always, like, call them
Yes.
out. Like, as a kid, I don't know where that went in me. So I want to bring that back. 2019.
Bring her back.
2020.
Bring her back.
2020.
I'm
Gonna
the
be
opposite. Well, not the opposite,
Yeah.
but like
Well, I feel
No,
like
I
as a
feel.
kid, I was very confrontational. Like, I wouldn't take anything. Like, I actually
Yeah.
got, like, an award to, like, stand up from bullying. My dad brings it up a lot, so I'm like, that's the only reason why I
You're like,
remember it.
alright.
Because my dad's like, I was so proud of you because you stood up to a bully. And I was like, I don't fucking remember this. But, like, sure, I'm cool.
But sure, alright.
But, like, as a kid, I was very confrontational. Like, if anyone tried to mess with me, I wouldn't. Because, like, I mean, like, in Utah, it really sucks not having a mom. And I never had a mom, so everyone was kind of like, there was, like, a couple kids that would try to bully me on it, be like, how does it feel like your mom left? And I was just like, better than your mom, and, like, just I, like, because no one would
Damn.
like, no one would bully me, but I would stand up to, like, bullies and stuff, so.
No, yeah. I
But
feel-
now, as an adult, I'm just like, please don't make a confrontation with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was not as confrontational when I was younger. Like, sure, I I would be very defensive about, like, my brother, because my brother got bullied a little bit in junior high,
A
and
little bit.
since I was, like, older and stuff, they'd be, like, you know, fucking with him or something, he'd leave, I'd immediately walk up in there and, like, slam on the locker, and I'd, like, go up to them, and I'm like, alright, if you ever fucking do that again, I swear to God, I'll beat your ass. And they're like, okay. And that's the only time it was ever actually confrontational until now, which, I mean, now if something is shitty, I'll be like, that's really shitty.
Right.
I'm
I'll be like,
guilty.
that's awful of you.
Yeah, I'm not like afraid to tell people how I feel most
Yeah.
of the time now. But when I was a kid, it was a little different.
Mhm.
But also, like, no one really fucked with me when I was a kid, so.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I feel like as you get older, you realize less that, like, you know, people's opinion of you, like, that doesn't really matter. And, like, the
Oh,
fact
yeah, I
that you
don't give a
need to
shit
make
anymore.
what you think, like, it needs to be heard, and, like, your opinion should be valued. You can't just kind of be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, especially, like, I work at a place where people take my opinion pretty seriously
Mhm.
now. And, like, if I'm not, like, direct and straightforward with people, they just are like, oh, like, I'll just keep doing this. And I'm like, no,
Mm-mm.
don't do that. That's fucking stupid.
You kind of got to be that way with people, though.
Yeah, no, honestly, especially
yeah,
in today.
In my specific position.
Yeah. Yeah.
To tell people, like, that is a bad idea. Stop doing that. Stop spending money.
Yeah,
That's literally something I've had
it's
to tell
showing in
someone.
your bank account that you suck.
Are you
with
a personal,
spending
like,
money.
finance analyst type of thing, or?
My official position is a financial expert,
Hmm.
but I do, like, consumer loans and stuff. So when people have high credit card balances and then they want to do something else that's like an unsecured loan, I'm like,
You're like, how about you
No.
fucking don't? Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I will be like, no, you have to stop spending money for me to do this.
Yeah.
So.
I've always been very non-confrontational. I don't like to start it. I don't like to be a part of it. But I love watching it happen.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. See, I've kind of gotten to that point where I like to watch it, but I always seem to be in it. Which I always want to end it. Just kidding. I don't.
See, I've gotten really good at, like, subtly starting it and then walking away and
Being
just
like,
watching it happen.
I feel like as an adult, it's so much easier to start something and then finish.
Because I am so direct, most of my issues will start and they are done in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like that's a really good quality because like you don't let people like bully or boss you around. And I feel like that's very nice. That's what I love about you, Bella, because like I mean like whenever there's
Yeah,
something
very
like that's
wholesome.
bullshitty and that everyone is like doesn't want to say that it's like bullshit, you're like, no, that's bullshit. And I'm like, yes, Bella, it is. Let's keep it going.
no, honestly.
It's really like the shitty part about being an adult.
Our group chats get pretty heated sometimes.
Yeah,
They
we
do.
literally have
I-
one right now about Christmas and like listen.
I called Nate out for having a bad attitude.
No.
I literally, this is one of the
Every-
times that I'm like, I have to sit back and just kind of watch. Usually I'll be kind of like, wait a minute, first of all. But if it involves Nate, I can't really say much because
No, it's fair. It's fair
I'm
because
upset if I don't defend him.
No,
But I
know.
usually don't agree.
no, because okay, so the situation is that nobody wants to do Secret Santa and White Elephant, but they want to raise the cap on White Elephant to $50. But it's the thing
It's
is
a white elephant.
White Elephant. But like the thing is, last year we spent $25 on a person and $25 on a White Elephant. I don't see the problem with that.
No, it was 40 and 20.
Oh, but still, like the thing is, it's like even if we put 25 to 25, why can't we just like make it? I just want to do Secret Santa because it's
No, I
funny.
know. Nate is
Secret
the only
Santa's
person
the
that gives a
best.
shit
I
about
love
it.
Well,
Secret
and doesn't
Santa.
want to
The
do
thing
it.
is, he's like,
fine. He doesn't want to spend money. He's fine with one or the other. That's mainly his thing.
but the thing
If
is,
the cap
doesn't wanna
is
do
50
too.
either way. If
like
there's
it
two
doesn't make
gifts, but
sense.
It's 50 total. That's the same thing.
Yeah. No,
No.
I think that's what he didn't fully
He
understand.
just every time I feel like we have like, it's not even just him. It's not him.
No, it's not him.
It's every
specifically.
time we have a group event, I feel like everyone's just like money, 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 money. And it's just like we're here to have friends. Like we're here to like celebrate a holiday together as friends. We should just like not give a fuck.
Our group chats just get heated because someone will say something like so
Stupid.
so stupid and snarky and like
Everyone will be like,
an
excuse
under
me?
the radar like insult, but everyone like it wasn't under the radar. Like we
Yeah.
all fucking got it. So I told Nate he had a bad attitude, and then he was like,
He went off. I literally was like, thank you, Bella, for putting him in his place, because I was just like, I live with him. I don't want to cause anything.
I don't think that you're understanding my text because it's in a text, and I'm like, oh, you have a bad attitude. But so did I. I was kind of I was a little.
That was just like, sometimes when you have a bad day and someone says something, you're just like,
I mean, I don't have to call everyone out in the group chat, but
it's fun.
also,
I would love to watch it happen.
no one else calls anyone out in the
do
group
you-
chat. We all just like deal with each other's bullshit. And I'm like, no. But that's also why sometimes
You're cute.
it's why I'm in charge of things, because no one else listens to anyone else. I'm not in charge, but like, I organize most of our events because no one else will do shit.
Yeah. It's fine. We're all like getting butthurt about things now. We're like, you know what?
Literally, it's so hilarious because when like a little drama breaks out in the group chat, you'll like open the Snapchat and everyone is there.
Everyone's just watching. You're kind of like, waiting to see who will say something first.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, should we talk about next month?
Oh, yeah,
What,
what do we
wanna
what
do
kind
for
of
next
plan
month?
we should have? And
Bella.
So-
Bella has a great idea and I love it.
So,
Mhm.
for our Christmas party, we are all wearing ugly sweaters. So, I was thinking maybe we could decorate our ugly sweaters here and read a Christmas book.
I'm down for that.
That'd be
Because
awesome.
there's that Netflix original, that Let It Snow. They have a book on it and it's really good because it's like it's like 5 or 6 authors that are like doing short stories.
Yeah, John
That
Green's one of them.
Yeah, John Green is
Really?
one. Yes, no, like
We should read that.
it's
Got
been
that
out
book.
since like for a couple years now. But we should read something. I feel like that would be really good for like Christmas, because I feel like we've read a lot of like dark.
Nothing better than the
intense.
Bible.
Hey!
I mean,
Bible review.
Jesus' birthday is on the 25th.
Nope.
Jesus.
Christmas
Blah,
is
blah, blah, blah,
about-
blah.
It's not like Christian or Christmas isn't about Christ.
Yeah, Christ.
But I feel like we should read a Christmassy book. It doesn't have to be Let It Snow, because I know that one's like kind of it's kind of long just because it's like a bunch of short stories. It's really fast, but
It's not that big.
I'm really
That
I'm really
seems like
down.
it'd be really
I
fun.
feel like we should read something heartfelt and
lighter.
Christmassy, and then we could talk about buttholes or something. Just because that's how we be.
Just, but
It's
buttholes is always in the mix of this conversation.
Kind of what all of the conversations go to.
Well, at the end of the day,
Uh-huh.
everything revolves around the butthole, right?
Exactly.
So, I
You know
mean,
what? If you don't get,
Yeah.
if you don't talk about buttholes at least once in your day, are you really living?
No,
Exactly.
get out from underneath your rock.
Yeah. Come on.
Talk
Go
about
some
involve.
buttholes.
Go involve yourself with some buttholes.
Really, just why do you gotta have such a pucker in your asshole right now?
That's all I'm saying.
Especially during this holiday season, you need a good pucker.
Gotta give it a good lucid. I don't know. Just gotta. What's the opposite of pucker? Purse? No.
Purse.
No, purse is a pucker.
That sounds funny though. Gonna purse my asshole.
Purse my asshole.
Relax?
Relax your asshole. Okay, relax your asshole.
You know that special
Let it
someone.
fall.
Let it-
Let it all hang out.
Let it all. Let your nuts hang. Okay.
But we should be something heartfelt. I think it'd be good.
I'll do something heartful. I agree with that.
I don't know, we
I think
just-
that'll be light and fun, and then we can make Christmas sweaters.
We may.
Drink.
I can bring.
Talk about it.
They have they have like the winter sugar cookies. I know they have the winter ones out, like the Frosty
Like
the
the-
Snowman one. Cause I bought low
Don't
key.
tell them the good time.
Low key in the bottom drawer on the right there is BB-8. No, not BB-8. R2D2 sugar cookies.
Are you
from
kidding me?
I just didn't want the boys to know, because every time we make these sugar cookies,
They eat it all.
we let them cool on the rack, because that's what you gotta do. You gotta let it- they swipe a heart.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll swipe them when they're still hot, and then we literally have 3 left. So that's why I bought the the R2D2 ones, because I wanted them specially for me, because I love Star Wars. But they have the Christmas ones out.
Right now?
Yeah. That's why when I saw the the R2D2 ones, sorry, I just really love BB-8. So I want them to be BB-8, but they're R2D2. But they have the R2D2 ones out. for this new Star Wars movie, so we can get the Christmas ones.
Should we talk about Star Wars really quick?
thank
Because
you.
I'm the biggest Star Wars
Dude,
fan.
okay, can we
like-
do like a slow key?
Definitely.
Okay,
We should all watch the Maldorian and then
Do a
come
episode?
on back and do an episode where we talk about it because
Dude,
we've been
don't
talking about
fuck-
getting Disney Plus.
I'll tell you
Yes.
right now. I'll fuck. Okay, wait, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen. No, we
Oh.
haven't seen it. No, Disney Plus. We haven't seen it, so you can't.
Wes,
No
Wes,
spoilers.
Wes,
No
Wes.
Ah,
spoilers.
no. We're cool. Hey, I'm not gonna say anything. Have you seen pictures?
yes,
Yes,
I've seen.
with
Okay,
the Baby Yoda.
Okay,
Wait,
I would
okay.
kill.
Adorable.
Oh my
I will
God.
kill and die for Baby Yoda.
Dude, I will literally murder somebody without
Literally.
sex to protect Baby Yoda because Baby. Oh my God.
I'll tell you guys this right
Ebert,
now.
what
Okay,
is your recommendation for January?
there's 2 episodes out right now.
Oh my God! Don't tell me that.
That show has
So good.
revitalized my love for Star Wars.
Dude,
Really?
I hated I Last Jedi. I
can't-
really think that this new movie's gonna fucking suck.
She is like, honestly, I have to back you up. I love the new ones. I know. Your face is like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Wes,
I don't know.
Meet
It,
me in
like-
the parking lot after this podcast.
Literally.
Okay.
The
I will
thing
put
is-
you in the dirt. That movie's fucking garbage.
Oh
Are
my
you
God.
a
Last
prequels
Jedi.
person?
No, I'm a fucking OG person.
Okay, well,
alright.
like, I mean,
But
that's
prequel.
fine.
Okay, listen. Okay, Force Awakens.
Agreed.
Yes.
Force
Baby Yoda
Awakens.
could get these.
Force
Good.
Awakens. Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Force Awakens.
Yes.
Last Jedi, worst movie in the series.
Oh my God! Don't even talk to me
Okay,
anymore.
listen. Visually, beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Story and the whole entire
Okay.
idea,
Yeah.
hot trash. Nothing got
Hey,
accomplished in that
The
movie.
idea was
Let's-
kind of fun,
let's,
but the whole
let's
thing.
we could keep this to the next episode.
Storyline.
Okay. If you're down, maybe we should all see. Okay, I have to see it with my dad first, but maybe afterwards we can see the new Star Wars together. Me, you, Forrest, and Cass can do a Star Wars episode of just a regular podcast. If Bella's down, she can be down.
If you're a Star Wars person, you're not much of a Star Wars
I-
person, are you?
Ask me how many Star Wars movies I've seen.
Don't tell me, Bella, because I love you and I don't want to like make you sit and watch them with me, because I will make you sit and watch them with me because I love Star Wars so freaking
They're real
much.
good.
Star Wars is like a part of my soul. Like it is. Like
Holly has
You would shit
phases.
my house.
She has
Oh
her.
my God.
I got
So
so
she has
many
her
Star
Star
Wars
Wars phase. She
collectibles.
has her horror phase, and then she
Love
has
you
her
too.
Disney phase.
yes.
And they all like she'll just kind of like go from one. She'll kind of like
It's
only
like
do one thing and then only do.
Can I
another,
tell you the hot tea
only
really
do
quick
another.
that pissed me the fuck off?
yes.
Okay, Disney Plus, all the Star Wars movies are on there. It's great.
Yes.
They changed the Han scene again
What?
with Guido.
No.
Again.
No, they can't
Why?
keep doing
Okay,
this
so the
to
OG,
me.
right? Han's
Yeah.
all like, blah,
Yeah.
blasts his ass. Then they
Han
redid
shot
it where
first.
Guido shot first, and now Guido screams something. It's like it's a word that they
No.
use in like the Phantom Menace or something like that. That's
Yeah.
like death or kill or something like that, and then shoots and then gets shot. And I'm like, that was the that. Why are we doing this?
Why? They're trying to make it seem
Oh
like
my
kind of
God.
like. Oh,
This movie's been out for
you know.
20 fucking years.
No,
Keep
it's been
trying
out
to
for
keep
40
it,
years.
like-
40 fucking years.
40 fucking
Yeah.
years. Okay, anyways, we cannot talk. Let's not bring up Star Wars. This will be an hour
I
long
don't know.
talk.
Y'all played Lego Star Wars. Greedo was one of my favorite characters.
Lego Star Wars is shit.
Honestly, just
Dude.
saying.
The problem is I could talk about Star Wars for like 5 hours because I'm a big fucking Star Wars.
I'm
fan.
not as big as a fan as Holly, but I love Star Wars. I really do. I'm a big
I-
Star Trek fan, also. Just saying.
Never
I love Star
seen
Trek.
it.
You
Got
slut.
all the collectibles.
We need to end this podcast before I fight everyone in this room.
Okay, sorry that you like
Anyways.
Last Jedi and you should.
Oh,
Thank you
my
guys for
God.
watching the podcast.
Thank
If you also
you.
agree that Last Jedi was trash, let us know.
Oh my God! I
Yeah.
swear to
Let me
God,
touch
I
his
will
nipple.
find everyone's house address and will fight you personally, or have a very intelligent conversation and then fight you.
Or she'll
As
just
we
kill
know,
you during
It,
sex.
don't sleep with Holly.
You'll die.
Yeah.
She may kill you.
She may murder you.
To all the future boys out there, just know I think about that sometimes.
She is dangerous.
Be ready to
and
die.
unarmed.
Danger.
I'm unarmed except with these hands.
You
Got
can't
these
catch these
guns.
hands.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks, TT.
Bye.